I did have a
It's
question.
kamikaze shit.
I did have a question. Mainly for these like industry people, I think. Not like real life. I did have a question though, and this is just something that I thought about randomly. This is an original thought, Charlemagne.
He promises.
I promise. I didn't see this anywhere, but you will see somebody else talk about this. Do y'all believe that podcasts change after the? Do you think the studio, if a podcast studio changes, it was produced in, or where it really like made its like foundation and groundbreaking moment? Do you think the listener experiences change? Do you think the host changed? Because there's like several podcasts that had studio changes that I think everybody can attribute to a drastic change in the shows. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Put it this way. I think the podcast studio changing is the symptom that you see, but there was a root cause to everything changing to begin with, and the real change behind the scenes is probably what we hear. It's like
So
that's
you don't think it's the new studio.
I don't
You
think it's like you get a fucking pimple on your arm. Like you see what's happening on the surface. That's the podcast studio changing.
Right.
But it's something going on in your body that's really causing that shit.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's just a symptom. It's the after
Yeah,
effect.
but the symptom is normally comfortability, getting more money. Normally when you get a new studio, it's because it's an upgrade. It's not normally a downgrade. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it
So,
depends.
No Jumper went from the back of the store on Melrose to their studio. Joe Budden podcast went from the basement of somebody's house,
Parks.
Park's house, to the penthouse skyscraper. And then there was even other studios in between that too.
Right.
The Joe Budden podcast, and each pod.
It was like-
and each studio kind of has their own era as well.
Yeah, it was
too.
like Parks's placed 2 different times when he moved and shit like that.
Yeah, so there's there's errors that the listeners attach themselves to.
Absolutely.
That they feel like these studios gave the best. They would say the warehouse that No Jumper was in before this newest one, we got the best No Jumper content probably. The Flagrant studio, I think it was the one with the.
There was a couple of them.
It was the.
I know what you're talking about already.
It was the studio.
The light, the
It was the brighter background. It was
Where they had the shoes, where they had the shelf
shoes
up.
and stuff like that. That was peak Flagrant era for me.
Yeah.
And
the one that they kind of took and made a new one in Miami of that same one.
Yeah.
When they redid the set in Miami from the move to New York.
So, but to me, that was peak Flagrant era. But then, ever since it came to this new studio, more of this talk show as vibe, the shit ain't the same.
Yeah, I was about to say, even with Brilliant Idiots, when they was in Engine Room Studios,
exactly,
that shit was
that was when it was different.
It was different back then.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like
still good, but it was different.
It's not this. So maybe it's like you said, it's if you get a pimple or something internally going on. But it's like, is it the more money you get? I mean, Schultz said something that was like a gem on the Nelk Boys podcast that sucked, but he was pretty much saying that's one of the issues with getting money and becoming successful is less things are bother you,
right?
Or you have less things to complain about or something. He said it in some way, but it's like
your muse is different because especially from a comedian standpoint, a lot of shit that niggas is saying is things that they don't like,
right?
And so if you have no irritation in your life, there's no funny.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
and that could also be with because if you're doing an upgrade studio, it's like you get more. You just get more comfortable when you get more money. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what's really different. And the studio changing is the symptom, but what's actually happening is you getting comfortable, niggas getting fat and fed,
and I think
and it's changing it.
And I think that theory might only really apply once you hit a certain threshold, because a lot of early
money?
because a lot of early upgrades do also signal an increase in everything, quality overall. Because now it's like we when we get a new upgrade, it's gonna be probably the same level of content, maybe even a little bit better, because it's like, nigga, we just fucking finally made our first shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
But once you get to a point where you already up there, it's almost like cutting your hair when shit's going bad. Now we just got to kind of switch shit up a little bit.
And it depends on the type of podcast you're talking about, because it's like, it's kind of true for these podcasts, but this is only 4 shows. Like, there's shows like the Shane and Matt podcast, the Shane Gillis and Matt D something. It's his friend though, his comedic friend. And them niggas are like on the road podcasting, and like every show is great.
Gotcha.
It's just great. Like they have podcasts where like they're potting in the dark.
True.
I
would say the 5150 show too.
You know what I mean?
Where it's like
it's not
it's had upgrades, but it's they're still holding on to the essence.
It's some randomness into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just all depends.
But the 5150, Corey Holcomb's already a different type of nigga. He's like a nigga that's standing on being, like certain principles. So he's a little different to where it's like you can't.
He's
you
still
can put him
born in the era where there were black men.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
a
mansion ain't going to change him. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Nah, man.
I'm trying to think of other podcasts who.
Shit, we can throw the Breakfast Club in there too because it's not a podcast, but the studio change was it signified something.
Oh my God, yeah, that new studio is just like, oh, what is happening?
It's egregious.
It's not the same.
It's something about the coloring is off. Like they're just not paying attention to color theory. It's a lot of black in there.
Then they
But
got the
also at the
cartoon
same
wall,
time,
they got the anime cartoon wall. It's a lot going on.
Royal
man.
chairs.
But when you in a new studio, it's like, you gotta.
They got to get rid of those fucking chairs. Those throne chairs are horrendous.
Yeah, they're
they're
bad.
so
For
ghetto.
for who?
The
Breakfast
Breakfast
Club.
Club.
It's disgusting. It
I
really
don't really
is.
like 'em.
I hate them. Just get the rolling chairs back. It's just like
I feel like the
I can't even take. It's like it's hard to
makes
take
you-
somebody serious.
it makes you
sitting in a
feel
chair.
like how important are you?
Yeah,
That's what
And
I
I
was
think
thinking.
they put themselves on a pedestal. They take themselves so serious. Like, I
And
feel like subconsciously,
before only Envy used to have the chair,
which is stupid too.
and it made sense to me. But
It
that's
makes
the
sense
type
because of where he was sitting in the room too.
not even that, but it just makes sense for his personality.
He's behind the.
You know what I'm saying? Like Envy
yeah.
is the type to buy a throne just
chair.
for him.
Yeah.
And be
Yeah.
like, I wanted a throne. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then at some point they got Charlemagne the same throne, and I'm just like, I hate all of them now. Like,
I think it was Charlemagne's idea though, the whole throne thing.
really?
I think so.
God, it's fucking terrible.
Them niggas do not need no throne.
They don't, it's terrible,
Last
bro.
thing they need
What
is
does
a
that
pedestal.
do? What does that do to you when you talking shit? Because I can only imagine if I was sitting in the throne right now, nigga.
How seriously can I take a person? It's just like the nigga on that wears the
The
crown.
nigga with Rashad McCants with
It's
the
like
crown,
him, it's
with
like-
the fucking tiara. That nigga gets on my goddamn
It's
nerves.
like, how seriously can we take you sitting in these fucking chairs, bro?
He doesn't take himself seriously. Did you see that shit with Pat Beverly?
I was watching it. I ain't finished it yet.
Nigga, that shit is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I started. I ain't finished it yet.
I can't even sit through it.
Nigga with a crown is hilarious.
The nigga with the tiara.
The crown
See,
is the tiara, the crown. It's just
Yeah.
like I can't even.
and they haven't had like a seasoned like funny nigga in there. Cause I feel like he's just so easy to get on. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
yeah.
So then, if we're talking about studio changes, what are the reasons for a studio change? Like, list the reasons you might actually have a studio change.
I think overall,
broken pipes, termites, impoverished neighborhoods. Nigga. There's a couple reasons to move.
HVAC.
The wrong nigga got your address.
Yeah.
That's true.
But really, it's just more money. We don't, like you said, we don't usually see downgrades.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's normally always
Unless
upgrades.
your name is Rory and Maul.
Yeah, they've gone up and down actually. That was a good one that I forgot to bring in
They're
there.
a little like.
They've gone up and down, and it's everything is based on how much they want to show us that they care. Almost, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like theirs matches their attitude towards positive
For the
you know?
fucking week.
Yeah, it's like I'm not really trying too hard. Let's just do it right here. I come out my bedroom, sit
Yeah.
on the couch, pod. I'm going back in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
He
Like,
changes socks.
yeah. So
it's crazy.
yeah, it's a little like I don't know. That was just something that I thought about just because so many. Oh, and then what also made me thinking about that as well is let's play this. Search Joe Rogan.
That ugly ass alien studio he had.
Joe Rogan Flagrant.
Are you talking about when he went on there? Let me not say it.
Right there, that one.
This was a phenomenal episode.
Go to the beginning.
Got this nigga Rogan high.
Not
dirty
the
drunk.
beginning, but like after they do that whole intro.
The
thing.
little intro shit, yeah.
Oh, so this first one right here? I think this is the intro, yeah.
33 million views.
Right here?
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna play it out loud.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. I'm not gonna put it on the screen though.
You can put Flagrant on the screen, I think, but it doesn't matter. Go ahead, just play it. You don't have to put it on the screen.
Things. And you're like, no, we need wireless mics. We need
Go back.
introductions. We need.
Because what he's saying is important.
Yeah, this is what it is right here.
You had a good thing going on. What's up? What's up? You guys had a fucking normal, simple thing. And you're like, no, we need wireless mics. We need introductions. We need 10 minutes of silence before we go so we can get dead air time.
I walked out of the bathroom and Joe was just going, there's really no need for all this. I think podcasting is better.
It's better. You've overcomplicated things.
You have.
Yeah.
We have.
Well, everybody wanted it to be on the Tonight Show, so you made your own Tonight Show. Look at this.
For you,
You got
though.
fucking stage lighting and shit. It's hilarious.
But you kind of did this. That's the thing.
But I didn't do
He's
this.
just doing that so you don't think it's a bad idea anymore.
Exactly. This is
He's
your
just
fault.
trying to put you on the idea. He doesn't mean that. He doesn't mean
This is all you.
What did I do? I didn't do any of this.
Yeah, you did nothing.
So yeah,
I didn't do any of this.
Yeah, so that's what also like had me think about it too, because I'm like,
Yep.
even Joe was like, "What the fuck are we doing?" But do y'all remember how crazy shit was when Joe changed his studio?
Which
hated
changed? The alien
space. They hated that one.
Yeah.
It
And I
was
don't.
weird to have serious conversations in that room.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing because it's not like the quality. He's always stayed consistent in terms of like what he's bringing to the mic.
But you see, the thing is with Joe's first set, and I'm only saying his first because it's his most like notable,
Yeah.
and that's the one with the Jimi Hendrix and the flag.
And
Yeah.
the werewolf statue.
It was humanely. Is that a word?
It was
Humane.
natural.
It was natural.
We know what
It
you're trying
felt-
to say.
It felt like a man cave.
Right,
Like
right,
nigga,
right.
ain't no man cave looks like a fucking
Yeah.
ET's
it looked like
basement.
it looked like a upgraded time capsule. It looked crazy.
It looked
Yeah.
like he was in a fucking tanning salon.
It looks like his club is called the Mothership,
Yeah.
and he made his podcast studio
Facts.
the Mothership. You know
Damn,
what I mean?
facts.
Everything with him is conspiracy theory, third eye, alien shit.
Yeah, so
That's
it,
his brand right there.
it
So
was
it
kind
makes
of
sense.
it was kind of on brand. It wasn't, but I think we just got so used to just the rugged Joe environment, natural, the man environment.
He was
'Cause
in a cave. It made so much sense.
I don't know how
Yeah.
long they had that set, but they got that. They got it the fuck up out of
fuck
there.
up outta there,
Yeah,
yeah.
they got it the fuck up out.
I mean,
of
it
there
was there for a
quick.
little bit.
It
but
was, but it was quick.
Yeah.
it was like
I
because
remember-
remember they took so long, and it was like what kind of made it worse, and it was like they kind of hyped it up too.
They made it a reveal.
They made it like a reveal, and it was a yeah. So yeah,
Where did he go
Studio-
back to? What's his current studio? Because I forgot what it looks like.
normal looking shit.
It's
just
normal.
back to
It's
normal.
kind of
Back to the basics.
Yeah, you could tell the bones of the
Shit. All right,
of
sure.
the spaceship is kind of there still,
Mm-hmm.
but he's well. I don't even know what the bones.
Because
of the
I only
spaceship is
ever,
anymore.
with new Joe Rogan, I only ever listen to that shit. I don't ever just sit down and watch it.
Joe is more
Especially
of
because
one-
it's not available on YouTube like that.
I mean, it's free on Spotify.
And yeah. But when I listen on Spotify, I don't have Spotify just out
no,
like
no.
that, loaded up.
You're supposed to go to YouTube.
He has
Oh,
you can only listen to it and watch it on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't
that's
watch it.
literally.
They still do the clips on YouTube.
And
Yeah.
we have that option
Yeah.
because we have a couple of episodes where you can watch it on Spotify.
Yeah.
LOI the show.
We got in on that shit earlier.
You can only do it on Anchor
yeah.
unless you have a deal with
because Spotify
It's
owns
Spotify.
Anchor.
exactly.
Motherfucker.
Yep. Because I was. Oh yeah, that's right. It's this one. Because I was trying to. Whatever service we went to next wanted that feature, but I realized we have to sign a deal with Spotify to get that.
See, this right here is like they took what made the old studio work and they took
They
the
kind of simplified it too.
yeah.
Oversimplified it.
They did, yeah.
Like it's cool. I like it.
But he just got criticized for having too much production. So it's like this seems like the natural progression.
Because
and
honestly,
I always
man-
feel like this nigga right here looks like a white version of my grandma.
Yeah, there's
shout out your
nothing-
grandma.
Yeah.
But
go back to the Joe side.
Shout out
the
Bill
Joe
Maher.
camera angle because there's nothing behind this nigga. At
Yeah.
all.
yeah, shout out Bill Maher. He's
He just got a son.
Yeah, that's literally just a sign, and I'm sure the shine changes. I don't watch it enough to know.
Nah, I don't think so.
But what it why I like it
Go
because
up or your mouse.
you don't need a lot of distractions when it comes to
On
this.
that side.
It's a conversation.
That's true.
And
You
if
really don't need
anything-
that much.
You just need like the red velvet background is like perfect.
I feel like
It
this
is.
is good enough.
Yeah, no,
Especially for Joe
This
Rogan.
is honestly more than enough. Yeah,
It's better than our orange tangerine couch cushions, nigga.
I know. I love when y'all hate these joints. But yeah,
Niggas love to hate them
And
shits.
then Adam went back to the couch to the table because he had went to couches, and when things were going terrible, he went back to the table from the old office.
Nigga, you got to go back to where you started.
Back to the
Yeah,
basics,
so-
nigga.
You know,
Fundamentals.
Even we have a little table in between us.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just wouldn't feel right.
That's kind of just
And
natural.
y'all kind of
though, yeah.
y'all said okay, but I don't know. What do y'all feel like y'all changes have been? Like, do y'all feel like your LOI the show has
When
changed?
we first started recording here, I don't know if it was the set or just like everything happening at once. Because you got to think, we went from 2 niggas in the cave to 2 niggas with like a well-produced podcast studio. So at first I'm
Yeah.
sitting in here, I'm like, all right, like I'm still gonna give it up. But it was weird at first. You got to get
Yeah, you
accustomed
gotta
to
get
being
You gotta get used to it. You
We
know?
Get
playing-
comfortable being here. Yeah.
We have a new home court. This is
Right.
our home court,
Right,
and we
right,
haven't
right.
played here yet. So it's like,
Yeah.
you feel me? You got to get
True,
used to
true.
that.
But nah.
Do y'all think
Yep.
having a table in between y'all at first compared to this now, does that change anything at all?
The table does something. I
Which
don't
table?
know. I don't know
Are
what
you
it
talking
does.
about the big long one or the small one?
The long one where you had in there.
I do
before.
think
Table.
about that sometimes for them too, because
The table, what it does, right?
Yeah.
Like even what a table signifies. Like, what do you do at a table? Like, if
You
you're
handle business.
you handle business,
Yeah.
you eat food, you do great things. You're happy.
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
good things surrounding what a table is, especially
Yeah.
when it comes to when your friends is at across the
Right,
table.
exactly,
Because that's
yeah.
like some lunchroom shit.
it is. Yeah,
And I
that
will
is.
say for us, especially just like our style of podcast, like the fact that we were facing each other like that, it just made it more like
It was a crazy. Yeah, I agree. I do. There is something about the table. I think the chairs are still good too. Like it's not
Oh, yeah,
like
for sure.
it's completely changed. But there is something about like, because that's what I saw y'all first under as well too.
Yeah.
Like on Instagram was like the back and forth, and that was which was kind of intriguing. Was just like. And me and Shane started that way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Me and Shane started across the table, just us two.
It does something.
So it does feel different. It hits different. And that was a good example, the lunchroom, because at a lunchroom, unless you had the circular tables, most of them were the
whack
rows.
ass
Most of them was
And
the
you didn't
rows.
sit next to your homeboy. You sat across from your
You saw
homeboy.
them.
so you could
Yeah.
disrespect him properly.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. The table is something. Which Joe does keep the table consistent, which is, he does keep that
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah.
And no matter what he said he does keep that part.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, he knows what works.
Yeah.
This nigga said I am keeping it consistent.
He's the podfather, right?
We're at